Squaddies, hello, settle in, grab a biscuit and listen up. This isn't your grandmother's royal gossip. We're peeling back the layers on Prince William, the man destined to be king. He's the sensible one, the dependable brother, the doting father, at least that's the image. Every appearance is managed, every speech vetted, every photo curated. He's the royal family's safe pair of hands, the Aston Martin of the royal fleet. Reliable, classically handsome, reassuringly British. But is he really the perfect prince? The public image is flawless, polished brighter than the crown jewels. We see him at football matches with his children, always the picture of modern royalty. But what happens when the cameras are off and the palace doors close? Whispers from staff and royal commentators suggest a different story. They speak of a man with a fiery temperament, prone to flashes of frustration. This isn't the placid prince we see on TV. It's a far more complex and interesting character. Behind the symbol is a human being, with all the messy, complicated emotions that come with the job. And what a job it is. So let's look past the headlines and see the real Prince William. Because the truth is always more interesting than the fairy tale. The royal family isn't just a family, it's a brand, and William is their flagship product. From birth, his image has been meticulously constructed. His education, military service, even his choice of wife, all part of the narrative of a modern monarch in waiting. William, the mental health champion, the environmentalist, the hands-on dad. But it's the only story we're allowed to see. But no one is that perfect. The real William, with all his flaws, is kept firmly backstage. The question is, what's behind the mask? Now for the juicy bit. What really goes on behind palace doors? Insiders, staff, aides, biographers paint a different picture of William. They describe a man with a short fuse, a fiery temperament inherited from both parents. Shouting matches, moments of extreme frustration, even volcanic arguments with Harry, these stories persist. His life is scheduled, scrutinized, judged, every move analysed. That level of confinement would make anyone tetchy. Staff have learned to navigate his moods, sometimes tiptoeing on eggshells. The palace, of course, maintains dignified silence. But the stories are consistent. The calm exterior is a suit of armour for public duty. Underneath is a passionate, sometimes volatile man, wrestling with extraordinary fate. It's a far more believable portrait than the one-dimensional prince we're sold, and it makes him real. To understand William, you have to understand the pressure. From birth, his life has been mapped out. No escape, no resignation. He's a living symbol, carrying the weight of a 1,000-year-old institution. Every word, every gesture, every relationship is public property. He's expected to be perfect. Husband, father, son, prince. The standard is impossible. He must modernize the monarchy, keep it relevant, and grieve for his mother, all under the world's gaze. The mental and emotional load is staggering. Is it any wonder the pressure cooker sometimes hisses? A fiery outburst isn't a flaw. It's an inevitable consequence. The contradiction of privilege and confinement defines his existence. So, why don't we see William's temper? Enter the Kensington Palace press office. This isn't just PR. It's a fortress. Their job: control the narrative, protect the image. Any sign of volatility is managed and neutralized before it hits the public. When negative press looms, out comes a heartwarming photo or charity story, flooding the zone with positivity. The royal rota system gives select journalists access, but with strings attached. Step out of line, lose your invite. The result? We see only the approved version of William. If a tense moment slips through, the PR team either clarifies or lets the news cycle move on. Their goal. By the time William is king, his image as a calm, capable leader is unshakable. The real William is hidden behind layers of PR. The performance is everything. To find the truth, you have to read between the lines. Royal reporters can't just say William lost his temper. That would end their careers. So they use coded language, pensive, serious, businesslike, all hints at tension. Royal authors, less reliant on palace access, are more direct in their books, quoting unnamed sources and revealing the real stories. The Daily News gives us the sanitized version. The books add gritty reality. The palace prefers it this way. By the time the truth comes out, it's old news. It's a slow release of information, a game of cat and mouse. The press tests boundaries. The palace manages the fallout. The public gets a carefully edited film, not the raw footage. And the real William remains just out of reach. The Prince and Princess of Wales are masters of the illusion of perfection. Every public engagement is staged, every detail planned. Social media is a stream of flawless family portraits and inspiring charity work. It's a highlights reel, no tantrums, no exhaustion, just the fantasy of a perfect royal life. For most, this is the only William they'll ever know. Handsome prince, beautiful princess, adorable children. It's a fairy tale, and people love fairy tales. But this illusion creates a gap between public perception and private reality. William must live up to an impossible standard, even on his worst days. Any crack in the facade could damage the brand. So the performance goes on, the smiles stay fixed. The illusion of perfection is protected at all costs. In modern royalty, image isn't just important, it's everything. But the real story is always more complicated. So, what's the verdict? Is William a secret monster? Of course not. The truth is more complicated and more human. He's a man born into unimaginable pressure, trying to be a husband, father, and future king. If he has a temper, if he shouts, it's not scandalous. It's proof he's not a robot. The palace's obsession with perfection denies him his humanity. We, the public, demand a fairy tale and then act shocked when reality peeks through. Maybe it's time to accept a more authentic, complex picture of our future king. William's hidden temper isn't about flaws, it's about humanity. He's trying to reconcile ancient duty with private feeling. So next time you see him smiling and waving, remember the pressure cooker he lives in. Don't judge him for not being flawless. Respect him for being human. The real story isn't about perfection, but perseverance. And that's a story worth telling.